We are all storytellers, whether we realize it or not. Every day, in big ways and small, we craft the narrative of our lives. From the moment we wake up, our minds begin to narrate our experiences, shaping how we see ourselves and the world around us. The most powerful story is the one we tell about ourselves, about our abilities, our value, and our potential. This inner dialogue can either lift us up or hold us back. This internal script, our mindset, is the lens through which we interpret challenges, setbacks, and even our successes. It colors every decision we make and every risk we take. Mindset isn't just a buzzword or feel-good talk. It's the foundation of how we live, work, and connect with others. It influences our relationships, our ambitions, and our resilience. When we face failure, mindset determines if we see it as proof we're not enough or as a valuable lesson to grow from. It's the difference between giving up and getting up. It's the difference between living armored by perfectionism, afraid to make mistakes, or embracing brave, wholehearted living where vulnerability becomes a strength. Think back to your last failure or disappointment. Did you label yourself as not good enough, or did you get curious about what you could learn and how you could grow? Recognizing the power of these stories is the first step to a more courageous, authentic life. When we become aware of our mindset, we can start to shift it. The stories we tell ourselves aren't always true. They're often inherited from our families, our culture, or past experiences. But the good news is, we have the power to rewrite them. The real work begins when we choose to challenge the narratives that keep us small, and instead, write new ones that help us grow, thrive, and live with courage. Carol Dweck's groundbreaking research offers us a powerful lens to understand how we approach learning, challenges, and even our own potential. She introduced two core ways of thinking, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. These mindsets shape not just how we see ourselves, but how we interpret the world around us and respond to setbacks. The fixed mindset is rooted in the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and talents are set in stone from birth. You either have what it takes or you don't. There's little room for change or improvement. In this mindset, every challenge feels like a test of your worth. Success means you're good enough, but failure? That's a verdict, a sign that you're lacking something essential. This way of thinking breeds a constant fear of being judged and a deep need for validation from others. You might avoid risks, shy away from new experiences, or give up easily to protect your self-image. In contrast, the growth mindset is built on the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication, effort, and learning. It's not about being perfect from the start, but about embracing the process of improvement. With a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities to stretch yourself. It's not about becoming a genius overnight, but about discovering your potential through persistence, curiosity, and hard work. Here, failure isn't a label or a final judgment. It's simply information, a valuable step in the learning process. Mistakes become lessons, not reasons to quit. The focus shifts from trying to look smart to actually getting smarter. Growth-minded people seek feedback, collaborate, and celebrate progress, no matter how small. In a fixed mindset, effort is seen as proof that you're not talented enough. But in a growth mindset, effort is the very thing that unlocks your abilities and helps you reach new heights. It's the difference between saying, "I'm just not a math person," and "I haven't figured this out yet, but I will if I keep trying." One mindset can feel like a dead end, shutting down possibilities. The other opens doors, inviting you to explore, grow, and redefine what's possible for yourself. The path you choose, fixed or growth, shapes not just your achievements, but your entire journey through life. Every decision, every reaction to a setback is influenced by this choice. So which story will you tell yourself? Will you be limited by what you think you are, or will you embrace the possibility of who you can become? The choice ultimately is yours. Mindset shows up everywhere, in school, at work, and in our relationships. A student with a fixed mindset avoids challenges. Fearing failure means they're not smart. They protect their identity, even if it means missing out on learning. A growth mindset student sees tough classes as opportunities, asks questions, and isn't afraid to say, "I don't understand this yet." That word, "yet," turns failure into future possibility. At work, a fixed mindset leads to avoiding risks, resenting feedback, and stagnation. Growth mindset employees seek challenges, learn from colleagues, and use feedback to improve. When setbacks happen, they ask, "What can we learn and how can we pivot?" They innovate, adapt, and lead by example. vulnerability and daring aren't opposites, they're linked. The mindset you choose shapes your progress and your impact. Every arena of life is transformed by this choice. Which will you bring to your next challenge? As parents and educators, the language we use has a powerful impact on the mindsets children develop. Every compliment, every bit of feedback, and every word of encouragement can shape how kids see themselves and their abilities. When we praise kids for being smart or talented, it might feel uplifting in the moment, but it can actually backfire. This kind of praise teaches children that success is about fixed traits, something you either have or you don't. If being smart means you always win, then stumbling or failing can feel like proof that you're not good enough. Suddenly, every challenge becomes a test of identity, not just a chance to learn. Kids may start to avoid risks or new experiences, worried that the mistakes will expose them as not smart. They might hold back from trying, just to protect their self-image. Instead, we can shift our focus to praising the process, recognizing effort, creative strategies, perseverance, and the willingness to learn from mistakes. This kind of feedback helps children see that growth comes from what they do, not just who they are. Try saying, "I loved how you hustled for the ball," or "Tell me about how you blended those colors together." These comments highlight the choices and actions that lead to progress. Connecting success to effort and strategies, rather than innate ability, helps kids understand that improvement is always possible. Praising the process builds resilience, encourages curiosity, and shows that abilities can grow with practice and persistence. It gives kids a clear roadmap for facing challenges. Try new strategies, ask for help when needed, and keep going even when things get tough. Struggle isn't something to be ashamed of. In fact, it's where real strength, creativity, and confidence are born. The right words, spoken at the right time, can unlock a growth mindset that lasts a lifetime and empowers children to embrace every opportunity to learn. Let's help kids value effort, progress, and perseverance over perfection, so they can thrive no matter what challenges come their way. Growth mindset isn't just for individuals, it's the foundation of daring leadership. Fixed mindset leaders create cultures of fear, silence, and blame. Employees become afraid to speak up or take risks, and creativity suffers. In contrast, growth mindset leaders build cultures of learning and trust. They believe everyone can grow and contribute, and they don't need to be the smartest in the room. They create psychological safety, where failure is a stepping stone, not a disaster. These leaders model vulnerability, admit mistakes, and celebrate effort and intelligent risk. They ask questions, clear obstacles, and unlock their team's potential. Organizations like Pixar and Microsoft thrive because they're built to learn, not just to win. Resilient teams are made by leaders who value growth over ego. Mindset shapes our closest relationships too. A fixed mindset believes people can't change, and that conflict means something is broken. Every disagreement feels like a threat, and we expect our partners to read our minds. This leads to blame, defensiveness, and growing distance. A growth mindset sees relationships as something you build, not something you find. Conflict becomes an opportunity to learn, repair, and grow together. Partners get curious, not furious, and ask, "Help me understand your perspective." Annoying habits become negotiable behaviors, not fixed flaws. Both people take responsibility for their part in the dynamic. Relationships deepen when we show up as our imperfect, authentic selves. Love grows when we believe in each other's capacity to change. Adopting a growth mindset is a daily practice, not a one-time choice. Start by noticing your fixed mindset voice, the inner critic that shows up when you fail. Name it, and create space between you and that voice. Then talk back with a growth mindset perspective. "I can't do this yet." Lean into challenges instead of avoiding them. Try new things, embrace being a beginner, and celebrate small wins. This rewires your brain to see effort as rewarding, not shameful. Ask for feedback and treat it as a gift, even when it's hard to hear. When others succeed, get curious about their process. What can you learn? Growth mindset is about being a lifelong learner in every part of life. It keeps you open, humble, and engaged. Every day is a chance to practice. The more you do, the more resilient you become. Growth is a journey. Embrace it. Moving from a fixed to a growth mindset is a return to our true selves. It's about dropping perfectionism and stepping into life with courage. We are all works in progress, responsible for our own growth. Think of Michael Jordan or J.K. Rowling. Setbacks didn't define them, persistence did. Their stories are about resilience, not superhuman talent. This path is open to everyone, in every walk of life. Growth mindset doesn't promise an easy life, but it promises the courage to rise after every fall. The story you tell yourself shapes your future. Choose one of learning and becoming. Embrace your potential, be brave, and write a life of purpose and heart.